be a weird thing, but you're going to see a quick jump cut straight to this mission. Because what had happened was, while I was playing leading up to it, I was being real scary with the, like, ah, right? I can't believe it. You know, you, the goblin who were angry at me and all this stuff, and I was doing great. I had some of the best, like, commentary of all time. My power was like, up there with Markiplier and all them. My power went up.
Acceptable.
So I lost all the footage. All the footage up to that moment where the greatest joke that was ever told. You know, I laughed. I felt like everybody's going to be laughing. But, you know, it's a shame that no one will get to see it. So we'll just take it from here. You know, I can't tell the greatest joke because I actually don't remember the greatest joke that was ever told, unfortunately. But yeah, we're just gonna go forward. Just gonna go forward. It's a little sad.
I'll take that.
Be careful. There are traps about.
Okay.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
The book is locked tight. When you try to examine the book, but the longer you've seen similar...
Curious. Why don't you take a closer look?
That look. We should.
On my
Okay,
way.
we have this. Yay! Now
Tastes like chicken.
these ogres are only good
Oh,
for this
chicken.
act. After that,
Tastes like fish.
they're kind of like
Gentlemen,
What should I say?
contain yourselves.
useless.
This quarrel
So
sours our
we
faith.
gotta find a good use for them.
Besides,
Last time I used them to
Tastes like
kill the
pork.
middle boss. I may do that again.
And what surprise is this? Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show us the brand of the absolute.
Uh, 11, I got this.
Indeed. How regrettable that your meat must go unsavored. Food? Food. Not food. Friend.
Free.
Am I not astonishing? A
You did me
robust
something.
diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand, and you a delicacy. Were I so lucky? I've no use for the absolute, or any god. I follow two masters only, gluttony and greed.
Okay, I can
The
respect that.
goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold. And the rest sate my hunger for meat. Boss Goblin give gold. We check brand. Good deal. No talk.
Oh.
We follow the sense of blood and gold to all lands fertile, friend. And this land proves particularly fruitful. I am, by all accounts, a student of higher commerce and extortion. Make me an offer. Tempt me.
I was a little off. I was very off. There we go.
A brilliant notion and a boon to my aching belly. We have a deal, my tasty kibble. Take my bone horn. One blow and the ground will quake with my family name. Use it when the need arises, and never a moment before. Ogre kill everyone around, then Ogre eats them. Well spoken, indeed. Ogre kill everyone around. We will keep close. When you are ready, sound the horn.
Okay, that's done.
Look what we got here. Another little birdie wanting to fly. Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you. Hope you got a stomach for heights. What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this here pipsqueak to fly. Cause it makes me laugh. You want this little cave lurking, what's it? Find your own. He's ours!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
What is happening in the background?
I ain't got much stomach for a fight. Better just put on a show and scare this one off.
The goblin's nostrils flare, as if trying to judge you through smell alone.
We're leaving.
What about the gnome? Ain't we supposed to bring him to...
I said we're leaving! There's plenty of sport and rich pickings out there for us. Move it! Fresh meats. Scared meats. Yeah.
Okay, go around. Going around.
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving. You already know as much as I do. Best ignore it. As long as it doesn't hamper us too much.
I know if you actually play as Shadowheart, that you hear that night song, the Lady of the Night. You hear her voices.
Inside.
You hear what is actually happening to Shadowheart in those moments.
Cut me loose! Free me and find out! Ugh. Maga Kamara. Those pustulant thugs! Well, get on with it. Whatever you are. You saved me, now you'll extort me. That's how this works, yes? My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas, Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on. Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found.
Oh.
But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again...
Hopefully we don't.
We will have met again.
Is this where they get? Yeah, this is where exactly. They came right over here, and boom! Game crash. And the greatest joke ever foretold was lost.
Good here, I hope.
It's kind of sad that happened. That's why I was happy. And this bear is sleeping. He's the only one that's hostile to us. Oh yeah, that's the... wonder if I could just leave it there. You know what? We'll just take care of this now.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun. You hear another muffled cry.
Go away!
Leave it. Whoever's inside doesn't want an audience, and I don't want to fight.
You're no fun.
A feast fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding
remember
from
this
the
one.
tough, leathery meat.
Are you serious? Okay.
You notice the blade is at an angle to the meat's grain. If you align the dagger with the grain, it should slip out easily. Thanks to your keen eye, the dagger glides smoothly out of the mystery meat. Mystery meat, tough as boar hide. Only the sharpest teeth could pierce it.
Keep a blade close. Over here.
At least things have stayed interesting. Time to press ahead.
Okay. And here's Raphael.
My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning. What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that, love, was that. They do know how to write them in Cormier, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service. It's not every day one meets such a cavalier sinner as yourself. A true, bloody pleasure. I'm rather the admirer of the sanguine arts, even if I wasn't quite born under a killing moon myself. Shall we withdraw? We have much to discuss, to our mutual satisfaction. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come.
Are we going to his house now? What's interesting, again, this will be a spoiler. I didn't think about this
Middle of
at the moment until now I'm replaying this. Oh, and there's even his theme song too. That you enter his house. Like you actually, were there in Act 1. Now you came back there to be, full circle. Like kind of cool.
The house of hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last. Call it a ninth sense.
9 cents a hell.
What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
No.
Because my compassion is bound.
And there is again, this is another spoiler. He's going to ask you to make a deal with him.
In dire
if you
need.
make a deal with
One
him
skull,
and you don't
2 tenants,
break that
and
deal,
no
if you
solution in
complete
sight.
it,
I could fix it.
it
all
is considered
like
game over
that.
in this game.
Take all the time you need, but make up your mind before you're counting down with tentacles. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
There's a lot of references to later act that if you don't remember that they mentioned, like the word hope, that is a thing. You will understand that if you haven't played it before. I'm assuming you're seeing this because you played it before. But that's a cool reference if you didn't for later on.
I've always wondered what a laughing mind flayer sounds like. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
That might be worth a look.
Didn't know I had this.
Bloody hells. Literally. Just when I think I've got a grasp on our dilemma, a devil shows up. No matter. We've dealt with every other oddity thrown at us lately. We can handle this one too. Now, as for this Raphael, he knows our secret. He claims he can help. What do you make of him? No doubts at all. He seemed powerful and very knowledgeable about our problem. Not the worst prospect we've stumbled across. As long as you can look past what he is. Good.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to hear. I know people who work much like our new acquaintance does. You don't need a scourge or a rack to break people. Fear and self-doubt is sufficient. When actual pain comes, the victim's already done the heavy lifting for their torturer. There were no right answers with that devil. He was toying with his food. Us. Cunning people. Private. And very dangerous at times. Perhaps you'll meet them one day. See? Sowing doubt is an old trick. Watch out for it. And for Raphael. What can I say? They were eye-catching. Consider me an art lover. Fine. What's on your mind? Must I? Find a way to rid us. Personally, I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove us. I suppose we'd go our separate ways.
Oh.
Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance. I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Oh, see, even those wordings are very particular.
The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? Refuse him no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost's always too great. That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure. But the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Now there's a bloody devil trailing after us. Well, this gets better and better. Shop around, he said. He seems sure we won't find anything. And he might be right. We've had no luck so far. If we don't know what we're walking into, that bridge will collapse under us. The devil has a plan.
Yeah, I'm glad he
He's
won.
playing with us. He reminds
Supporting
me
role,
of-
I think, at the joystick.
Well, someone I
Awards,
used
Golden
to know.
Ghost Stick Awards.
Someone that liked
He
to
has a
play
great
with people.
voice.
Creatures like them don't play games unless they know they can win. Maybe. But he's not the only one spinning a web for us. This is no ordinary mind flayer parasite. Who tampered with it and why? What do they have planned for us? And why are we important enough that a devil comes knocking on our door? If we find those answers, we might have a chance.
Okay. Those are the ghouls. She's nearby. Okay, I think I want her in my party. That way when we go to the village, we go to the village. Village.
Something tore right through these people. They didn't stand a chance.
The creature's eyes roll
Trying to
back
think
in
of a
its
name.
head. equal
Village,
parts
hold on.
bliss
We go
and
to the burning
agony.
village.
Her
After we get
awful
her,
smell
then the goblin
irresistible.
camp.
And while her
At the
blood
goblin
thirst
camp.
has filled her, the hyena is not yet sated.
Come, see! My flesh becomes new flesh!
You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. You watch with cold realization. This isn't the end of one life, but the start of another.
I didn't even realize she had a voice line
Her
because of that.
darling pups will not be of her own species. Gnolls bring forth their iniquitous litter from many corpsed wombs, including hyenas.
It
I thought I'd get to strike
Her
it before.
belly splits like a rotten fruit,
Oh shit.
birthing a frenzy of claws and fangs.
What is it?
The raw hate of life reared from the miracle of death.
I didn't realize the darker smiles for that. I did not know that. Oh, that is interesting.
Your time has come.
Still on my feet. Shouldn't have made me your enemy. Time to press ahead.
Shall we cut and run? Over here.
Okay, good.
On the victor's path, fleet of foot.
place reeks of blood. Let's go, before more join us.
Very well.
Okay, I know they're up here, that cave and stuff. I don't need to go to the cave just yet. She's over here. We can have a crab. Okay, let's go. Something behind this door.
Right, that's for sure.
At ease, friend. You're welcome to rest here. Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to. A devil, the most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
This could be the work of a devil, but they collect souls through cunning, not carnage.
Indeed. She's a uniquely vicious case. All the more reason she
No,
must
she is the best, second best character behind Scratch.
She ran toward the river when she saw we were merely wounded, not dead. Down the hill from here. She must pay for her crimes. If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not.
This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath.
It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her. Bring me her head.
That sword's not even that good. I remember that stats. The stats are not that impressive.
May the just God guide you.
What's hiding here?
Just over here.
Maybe I need more pockets.
Running hot. Oh, that's kinky.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but I...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
Not willingly.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Wow.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Everybody approves.
Listen to sense.
You can ask. Oh, so.
Don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see
I seen it on YouTube Shorts. There are.
You really are no devil.
And it's very rare that people choose this option. You can kill her, and you do decapitate her head. But her dialogue, if you decide to go that route, is so sad because she's like, I finally thought I could get a friend or find an ally. And it's just sad because, like, when you realize her backstory is like just sad, and even what she will happen by Act 3 is Sator. It kind of sucks, and I understand that.
Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Don't worry, I'll lead the charge. But I could use your help. There's a lot of them and only one of me. After that, we can team up. Take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good? Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Hang on though. Looks like you've got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
Okay. Let's go to camp. There she is. It's out to S.
I thought we were going to see some real sparks fly between Will and Karlach. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. It sounds...
Mel has something to say as well as
You've been
Gale.
witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me. Well met.
Oh, here's The Witcher too.
Spare me a moment, if you please. I've something important to discuss with you. We've been traveling together for a while now, and it's just about time that I shared something with you. It's a rather personal matter that I'd have preferred to keep quiet, but needs must when the devil drives. I have no choice but to speak. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly. No. It cannot be cured.
Nope.
And I assure you, I've left no page unturned in reaching that conclusion.
Can you?
I can keep this condition under control, as indeed I've done for a significant amount of time, but that was under different circumstances altogether. Home, in Waterdeep. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. Oh, staffs, tomes, cowls. The form doesn't matter, so long as it's brimming with weave. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It is time, and by that I mean it's imperative that I find and consume strands of weave at the earliest possible juncture. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession.
Damn you.
You know for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost.
There you go.
Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. As luck would have it, you're already primed to give me exactly what I need.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you can use this one.
Thank you. That hit the spot. I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters. Grateful as I am, the course of our camaraderie is much better served by not taking that particular detour. Not just yet. Sincerely, though. I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told. My lady, I bow to your boundless kindness.
Okay, so he's good for now.
What's on your mind? Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
Okay. It's Karlach. Shadowheart doesn't need us. So we'll say goodbye to her friend. I like the crab is just staring at her.
So, Gale just consumes magical items like I do wine. We truly are a group apart. Nevertheless, as quirks go, that's a new one for me.
Oh, wait.
Almost pleasant traveling with if you're sure. Fine.
Oh, it's ironic that I end up with the mysterious artifact, even though so much of it is always about having her in it.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. There are many answers to that question. None are important. Correct. No. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them. Suspicion always haunts the guilt. Should thou or any of thy compatriots, because it is my calling, a matter of coin. Very well. Choose.
No, I can just... That's interesting. And I think I just fucked up my game. Okay, it was just loading. Can I dismiss you? I never had a hireling.
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt. The soul remembers its invective, but remembers not its tongue.
Though spoken with a different voice, you recognize the eloquent drawl of Withers, the wraith that summoned the hireling.
They are but echoes. They recall not a manner of speech. Thus I lent them my rhetoric. Because you needed to speak to it. Because it feels correct. Fitting. To speak thusly takes little of my effort. Besides, what better use is there of time than discourse? These souls clawed their way back from the fugue plane for vengeance. The art of violence is one memory not lost to them, I assure you. Now, let us return to the fray. This vessel is at thy disposal.
Alright. I'll let you return it.
Thou art the master, so it shall be.
I'll leave you here. Okay. Speak to Karlach.
I like Gale, but I'm keeping all my good gear well out of sight. Everything fancy he touches meets a grisly end. Why are we slowing down?
Okay.
Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Aces.
Gale is positively voracious. Well, let him suck up all the magic he needs, as long as he doesn't snack on a Githyanki's silver sword. It is done. I have performed deeds well and efficiently. Is this what you mean?
Not exactly. But you answered my question.
How much farther can I go?
Also, there's there is a tail for her, for Lazelle, a short, I should say. Apparently, she don't know what a cat is. I never thought that was a thing. I guess there's only certain things you get to see of characters as when you play as them.
Something over there.
Let's go say hi.
Smell that? Blood. This whole plain reeks of it.
That'll wake you up of a fine day, won't it?
I do not need awakening. My senses are sharp as steel.
You brought her here. We won't survive another assault. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please. We just want to go home.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough. Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Rude.
The furnace was never my home. It was
I like
my
his.
prison.
I like his chef
I'm
face.
free now, and I'm never going back.
Okay. Oh. crab!
On the move.
Really?
Bye forever, pal. Got it.
Just want to shoot something. Really? Oh, yeah, she did run quick.
Down but not out.
Hi.
These boots have seen everything.
Gods, it's hot in here.
On the victor's path. 2 steps at a time.
The door took damage from that.
Fuck them. Fuck Thariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
Uh-oh. Oh, she burned him by accident. It's gonna be a minute. She is, took down my characters twice.
Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things.
Oh, it's the one in the grove. So the last playthrough.
A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy, but I'd love to find out.
See, I
a tune-up would do this rusty.
Didn't find her until after I saved the tieflings. So that did delay a bit. So I wonder if it's easier now because of this.
What's the story? The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash, politician.
Again,
inventor.
it's interesting
One
how
of
much
these
setup
wheeler
there
dealer
is
types who seems
for
to have a
Act
finger
3.
in every
And
pie.
if you don't realize it, it's
I guess I was
cool.
naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job, a good job, with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right? Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The
Or I
guts
like to
you'll
take
need
guts.
to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. I've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know? I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, and maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together.
Together!
Wasn't all that long ago. I never knew the whole of how and why, but I remember the devil slavering with delight. I should have looked after the Elterans more. Gone out of my way to make sure they were all right. The long and short of it was, I didn't want to risk my neck. I let them get on with the nightmare, same as I had to. But Avernus is no place for decent folk. I'm glad they got out. So glad. Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? It'll come back to you. Maybe you'll recognize something we passed, or maybe we'll find out what happened to you.
Okay.
I get the feeling we've got a long road ahead of us. I hope we find you some answers along the way.
Oh, thank you.